helping people of all backgrounds build a better futures for themselves and their families through education and entrepreneurship. Eva is one of the few celebrities, one of the few, because a lot of celebrities don't understand the power that they have and actually leverage it for the betterment of communities, but she embraces her position as a role model and uses her celebrity stage to share her voice to empower all of us in this room to be great. Please join me in welcoming this phenomenal woman to Newark, who I just want to say thanks to for coming here and supporting my husband as we stand beside you. Ladies and gentlemen, actor, producer, and activist, the phenomenal, beautiful, amazing, Eva Longoria.
I love Newark. People think I'm crazy because I don't say New York. I say, no, I said Newark.
Yeah, Newark.
Oh, that's better. This is a race that everybody is paying attention to. Obviously, you guys are paying attention to it because you're here, but when a city like Newark makes national news, people are listening. And so if people are listening, you better have a leader who has something to say.
That's right.
So I want to tell you why I'm here and why I am supporting Shavar Jeffries. And I want to tell you how he got so far in life. So many people wonder, how did they get there? How did that person get there? I want to be like that person. I want to emulate that person. And I will tell you, it's not because he's dedicated to social justice and civil rights, although that's important. And it's not because he's emerged as a leader in expanding access to quality education for children, although that is important. He's not here because he's done more in support of Newark public schools than any other mayoral candidate in this race, although that is important. He's not here because he has a comprehensive public safety strategy for Newark that would reduce crime, although that is important.
Yes.
He is here because he had strong women in his life. Shavar and I had a great conversation about all the women in his life, and every time a new mother appeared in his life who helped guide him, he was surrounded, of course, first off by his mother, who had an influence in his life and left him way too early to domestic violence. He had his aunt and his grandmother who kept him on the right path so he could go to Duke University and later Columbia Law. And now he has his beautiful wife, Tinanye, and the mother of his two children. You wouldn't be here without your wife. So I think she's doing better in the polls than you are, Shavar. But it's important to recognize all these women, because women, we have a vote, we have a say. He's a leader because all of these women in his life believed in him, invested in him, educated him, protected him, and now he wants to do the same for you. He's a leader who has a plan to protect women from domestic violence, to protect children from gangs, and to protect your communities from drugs. He wants to create economic opportunities, not only for women, but for all minorities, so that they don't have to live in poverty, and so they can support and better the lives of their children and their families. Everybody knows women are the CEOs of the home, am I right? We need somebody who recognizes that. You need somebody who recognizes that. You need somebody who knows. I make the decisions. Therefore, I need the infrastructure to opportunity. I need a pathway to that opportunity, and he's the man that's going to give it to you. We always say the best way to break the cycle of poverty is through education. And Shavar believes that parents, not politicians, should decide where their children attend school, and that each child deserves quality education no matter how rich or poor they are. You know, I spent a lot of time across the country campaigning, and I am always amazed at the power of women. And I've always spent a lot of time encouraging women to exercise that power to vote. I don't support candidates who treat women as a special interest group. I support candidates who recognize women are half the population of this country, and we have a say. I think we have a lot of powerful women here, yeah? Shavar is a leader today because of the women in his life. And I'm proud to participate in a new campaign called Honor Thy Mother. Hashtag Honor Thy Mother. And I encourage all of you to participate. I was really fortunate enough to have spent some time with the Dalai Lama recently, and one profound thing he said when somebody asked him, how do you face adversity, and how do you face every day when you're oppressed and you're exiled from your own country? And he said, what I remember is every person I encounter, every human being in this world came from their mother. We all came from our mother. So it's important that we honor thy mother. I agree with Shavar, and I believe that we should all honor thy mother. And today I'm happy to announce that the Honor Thy Mother Scholarship Fund, in partnership with supporting our sisters organization, will support children in Newark who lost their mothers to domestic violence. Shavar embodies everything that is good about public service. And his story will inspire future generations in Newark and all over the country to show them that they too can overcome great obstacles and reach their full potentials as human beings. So this election is on May 13th, don't forget. It's a week away, and the future of Newark is in your hands, and it looks really bright. So not only am I telling you to vote, but you have to take somebody to vote. And take your neighbors to go vote, or take your mom to go vote, take your daughters to vote. Take your daughters to vote. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the future mayor of Newark, Shavar Jeffries.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we give another round of applause to the amazing Eva Longoria? A woman of character, a woman of integrity, a woman of leadership, a woman of accomplishment. I am just so honored and humbled to have her support today. I want to also acknowledge the members of our slate of the Jeffries team because we know we're only going to do great things through teams. Great things don't happen through individuals, but happens through teams working together in order to accomplish great things. And so I want to first acknowledge Councilman Eva Ramos. Councilman Ramos has represented the people of Newark in the North Ward with distinction for 8 years. I see the councilman's father there in the back. Eva Ramos Sr., it's great to see him as well. There's a reason that the North Ward, it's not a coincidence that the North Ward of our city is in so many ways one of our most strongest and most vibrant wards is because of the leadership of Councilman Eva Ramos. Very honored to work with him. Kevin Waters, our soon-to-be West Ward councilman, a gentleman who fought for our kids, for financial stability in our community. Councilman Augie Amador, you know very well. And I should have led with the councilman. This is his home. He's invited us into his ward and his house. I'm very excited to be here with him. Bishop Andre Spate, your soon-to-be next Central Ward councilman. He's a man of God and a man of accomplishment, creating a preschool program that's educating the next generation. Linda Lord, your soon-to-be next at-large councilwoman. She's an educator and a social entrepreneur. Councilman Carlos Gonzalez. Councilman Gonzalez as well has served with distinction and with honor for the last 8 years, and your soon-to-be next council person at large, Wilfredo Caraballo. Wilfredo has served with distinction in the legislature for 12 years and also a public advocate for the state of New Jersey. So I'm very honored to partner with our teammates to do great things in our city. Today we're here to affirm and to honor our women. Women are everything. They are beautiful, they are geniuses, they are talented, they are the backbone of our community, they are leaders, they are everything. They are absolutely everything. And we wanted to launch this movement called Honor Thy Mother so that we can affirm our women. Because too often in our culture, our women do not receive the affirmation and the honor and the dignity that they deserve. We listen to our music, and oftentimes it's denigrating of women, denigrating of girls, and we want to create a cultural movement in which we are clear to everyone, everywhere. Our women deserve nothing but the highest praise, the highest honor, the highest dignity. And when I think about the ways in which we don't always uphold our obligations to our women, I think about my own mother, who gave birth to me at 19, and even though she wasn't ready at that young age, she did everything she could to support me and to develop me and to nurture me. And when I went to go live with her, I was with her for a short period of time. We had a broken lock in our home. And it's amazing that often when you're in a culture that isn't sufficiently affirming to our women, how little things that may seem mundane can trigger a series of events where our women aren't treated with the love and respect and honor and dignity that they deserve. So we had a broken lock and a man came to fix the lock. And my mom and the man entered into a relationship. And they became married. And she became pregnant with my little sister. And not too long after that, he began asking her questions about the phone bill. This is back when we had paper phone bills, and he would rifle through and ask her questions. And he didn't like the answer she gave, and he struck my mom. And this would begin a period of domestic violence that happens in our communities all the time. And what I remember very vividly is she would call the police, she would go to the courthouse and file for a restraining order, and it didn't matter. He would come out, he'd be released in short order, and it would bring more violence to her. She would go to the courthouse again, file another restraining order, and it didn't matter. He would come out, and he'd bring more violence to her. She would go to the courthouse again, file a restraining order, and it didn't matter. And it got so bad we had to flee. So myself as a child and my mother, just wanting to live day to day, had to flee from this gentleman bringing violence to our family because the culture and the society didn't protect us. And so we're on the run. And we're going from house to house. We would go to a shelter for a while. It was horrible. And he went to the workplace one day and waited for her. And he had a sawed-off shotgun with him. And no one protected her. And she didn't make it out. And that is always a kind of driving and anchoring set of experiences for me about how we have to reform our culture. Because what happened to my mom happens every day in the state of New Jersey, in the United States of America, and in this world. Women being subjected to violence, not being respected, not being protected. Also think about even my grandmother, who had just lost her daughter, my mother. And when my father wasn't around, she didn't even blink twice. And she said, my 6-month-old sister, you're gonna come live with me. And my 10-year-old grandson, you're gonna come with me too. Because the spirit of who she was as a woman said, I can't allow my children's children to be in custody. I can't allow my children's children to be anywhere else but in the loving cocoon and safety of our family. I think about my aunt. I I think about my aunt who had her own children that she was raising.